and Dr. V, and we're going to do something different today. They each disagree on which one of them came up with the idea because I've asked them both now. But the concept is let's do live copywriting to fix up, or how I would fix up someone's website copy. I don't normally do websites and website copy, but especially for small businesses. But it's interesting. So here are the rules. They're going to pick a search term, and I'm going to go into Google. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to go into Google, and I'm going to go down to the 10th page of Google, pick one of the listings, go to the website, and then start fixing in real time what I would fix or could fix to make the headlines and the copy on the website more compelling and better suited. The small business world is kind of awash. We're going to stick to small businesses because it's sort of flooded with bad copywriting on their websites and stuff. So there's going to be lots of opportunity, I think, to go after stuff. It should be fun. I get 5 minutes to try to improve a website. I do not get penalized for time I take to explain a concept or why something should be changed or something, but the actual writing stuff, I only get 5 minutes. So we're going to try to stick to headlines and talk about ways that something could be improved.
So we're not sticking you in the penalty box.
There's no penalty box this time. No,
Okay.
no hockey. When I went to hockey school, I spent enough time in the penalty box. I don't need to do it anymore. Hockey school at 5 years old, because it's mandatory in Canada that every 5-year-old go to Gordie Howe Hockey School. So I did.
Yeah, it's like joining the army in Israel.
You have a choice, right? So it goes. Okay, so let's see. How do I share my screen? Here we go. And so I went and looked at Life Coach. We went down to the 10th page on Google, and I came up with, and this is the only one that's sort of even a little bit preloaded because we didn't want to, have technical or time wasting things as we go in. And we found Allison Goldberg, and here's Allison's website.
Hey, Allison.
Allison is a life coach in the Houston area, and she has a very simple, not much copy on it, front page, which should make it easy, I guess. And just so we all know, I'm using a Chrome extension called Edit Website, which just lets me play around with the text on a website live if it's running.
Cool.
I assume it works.
It sounds innovative.
It's really simple. It's just a little JavaScript thing, but it's handy because people can watch you edit. Of course, I'm only editing the downloaded cache copy that everyone would get if they went to Allison's website. It's not Allison's website. It's not going to change anything on her actual website. Her website will look just like it just did a second ago as soon as I go back. Now, this is not text. This is actually an image. And so I can't change it.
Yeah.
But if you could.
But it begs for changing.
Yeah, a little bit.
So it's saying nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can make a new ending. The concept, the meaning of the thought is great. It's great for a life coach, especially. But it's way too wordy. It shouldn't have a comma. It should be 2 sentences. It should be chopped back quite a bit and turned into something like you can't change your beginning, but you can change your ending. Even something simple like that.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of what she's got. So I would definitely have made that change for here. And actually, let me take a second here for her picture. I think this color here is matching. I'm not a graphics guy, but I know the basics, right? The color here sort of matches her clothing. And I guess maybe the yellow matches some of the flowers in the background.
Yes.
But can you tell me what's wrong? Other than the fact that it's sort of a grainy, blurry, and a bit dark photo, can you tell me what's wrong with this photograph if you're trying to convey? She's got a nice smile going, but convey like warmth and humanness. It's really subtle, but once I point it out, you'll never not see it in any picture or movie or TV show again.
It's like I need to enlarge this myself. So.
I can enlarge it here.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay, there we go.
You see the problem? I'll show you the problem. Okay.
Okay.
In every movie, in every TV show, and everything, the way that in sort of prepared content like that, and any portrait photographer would do the same thing. The way that in those kind of stories, they quickly convey who a hero or good person is and who a villain is whether or not there's a sparkle of light in their eyes. So look, I pulled a couple up. This is from The Graduate. And you can see that there's little dots of reflective from the lighting on the set, right, in their eyes.
Yeah.
And here's Goonies. Every single one of them. It's in the corner here. See if I can make this a little bigger for you guys.
Well, here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Yeah.
Right? And like every one of them has this little dot in their eyes. Here's Die Hard. Same thing. It's everywhere. Once you see it, and of course, if they want to see someone seen like possessed by demons or evil
Get a
aliens,
red
or
dot.
something, like their eyes are completely black and there's no reflected light on them.
Ooh.
And it's not just like special lighting that she would need. I mean, even I didn't take the photograph that's on my website, and this is just the sun, but the photographer made sure that there's little sparkles of light in my eyes.
Aw.
For humanness, right?
Good job.
Humanity.
Allison
Interesting.
doesn't have any of that. She has like her eyes are as black as a shark.
Oh no, Allison is dead to me.
So Allison, I mean, you're never going to
We'll
see
fix
this.
you up.
We're never going to meet. But another photograph where you show like a little sparkle from the lighting would go a long way.
It's not too far from Houston
Right.
to North Carolina.
There you go. Okay. So now what's the next problem? Oh, by the way, I did notice one thing on the bottom. I don't know, and I want to make this clear. Not only do I not know Allison, or I've never heard of Allison, she's never heard of me or anyone on this call.
Right.
I also don't know who her audience is, and so the advice is durable, foundational kind of advice. It's not specific to her audience, and therefore it should apply to anyone who ever watches this video. I have to think, though, that her audience is probably not an audience where you want to show off that you're drinking champagne in an elevator, which is what's going on right here, because it's pulling it automatically from her Instagram. So I wouldn't necessarily do that one. And I'm not sure why I would put in this half distraught looking blurred black and white either. If you're going to show it on the main page of your website, then make sure it conveys the message you're trying to convey.
I need to go back to my Instagram now.
Yeah, maybe not pull it right from the feed.
All
right.
That feed, that feed
Now,
is.
let's look at what Allison has for her headline, because she's sort of, or basically it's a subhead, right? She's trying to use this as, in copywriting terms, this is her headline, that my job is to provide tools. And this quote here is what's called an eyebrow. You normally see it like just above and to the upper right or to the upper left of a headline, sort of like add in like new for 2022, right? Just like sort of a little bit of stuff that's called an eyebrow because it like sticks above the headline kind of thing. And I didn't make up that term, but I love that term. So this is her main headline. And Allison, we talked about on this show many times that there are 3 levels of messaging, right? There's informational, inspirational, and transformational. Allison is in one of the few industries besides beauty, products, pharmaceuticals, fitness, and health. One of the few industries, life coaching, where you would aim for transformational, or if not transformational, because you don't want to be sort of that assertive in your claim, at least inspirational. But Allison is tending towards informational. My job is to provide tools. Here's the problem with this part. 1, they don't care about your job yet. They care about what their positive future will look like relative to their negative present.
The results,
Tools, and provide tools, by the way, is in copywriting what we'd call friction or friction language or friction words. Which means that friction as in you're telling the reader that they're going to have to work hard. Readers don't want to work hard. Customers don't want to work hard. Everybody wants a shortcut to positive future. Now, if you're deliberately trying to get people to self-exclude, then you would have a headline that did that and tried to get people to opt out. So only the really hardcore ones would do it. But even then, you wouldn't say provide tools. Provide tools means that here's a toolbox, go away and make something of yourself.
It's like a hardware
That's not
store.
what a life coach does. It's the opposite of what she's supposed to be saying to do. So
it doesn't matter what tools you use, just get me the results.
Right. In fact, she could drop all of this. And her whole thing could just be go from coping to thriving.
Short and pithy.
Right. And that's me not even changing any of the words in her headline, just chopping out the stuff that shouldn't be there because it's telling the wrong thing to the wrong people.
Deletion solution.
Right. And she could, even if she wanted to go a little fancier, she could like expand on that. She could go from coping and striving to hoping and thriving.
I like it.
It's a bit wordy for my taste. And I do not like the word thriving. I don't like using, it has a hidden syllable. So technically you look at that and say, well, thriving is a 2-syllable word. It's really a 3-syllable word because there's a microscopic little break between the sound
yes.
and the ry sound and the ving sound.
Wow. That's like microsurgery.
Yeah, but it makes a difference in how fast people can read it.
Yeah.
But in this
Fascinating.
case, thriving, if you're a life coach, like thriving evokes, flowers in springtime and trees and growth and all this kind of stuff. So it's probably something that her competitors are using for wording. And so I wouldn't necessarily leave it. But I mean, you could go, if you wanted to be wordy about it, go, what did I say? What did I say? Go from coping
to hoping
and striving
and hoping to thriving and striving
to hoping
to
and thriving.
Thriving.
hoping and driving.
And there's Allison's new headline.
I like it.
Do you like it, Allison?
In fact, I would go even shorter. From hoping and thriving, from coping and striving to hoping and thriving. I mean, it's a bit awkward. If I had more time, I would come up with something pithier and more visceral.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Not like don't be a dope, get more hope.
there you go. Okay. So, and then this is sort of her problem statement, right? What are we going to do here? And here's a problem with this. This should not be orange, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
There's way too much orange in the first half of this. I mean, it's sort of like her color, right? So she's using it. It's an accent color.
I noticed the text in orange and these other colors, it just doesn't pop.
It
It's hard
doesn't
to
pop.
read.
It gets lost because it's too close to the headline gets lost to too close to this. And then she's actually changed her font, right?
Ugh.
Now
Yeah.
this is like Times New Roman, and then now we get to sort of an Arial Helvetica kind of thing.
Well, but you can mix fonts, but you shouldn't do it willy-nilly.
You can do whatever you want as long as you're doing it under a plan and you know why you're doing it.
Got
If
it.
you're just doing it, then what's the point, right?
Yeah.
But these are hard to read. And if you're
Very.
trying to, basically she's trying to say, if you fall in one of these categories, then you should call me, right? These are her problem statements, sort of a problem, agitation, solution kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they're too small. For
Right.
some reason, they're very small. They should be in a list instead of what looks like one sentence that's broken up.
I agree.
And then they're too, I mean,
Don't you find that too with a lot of these life coaches and health coaches and others that women tend to do these scripty things, which are really impossible to read, and I'm being, semi-sexist and all, but I mean, I've seen it a lot, with the flowery types of cursive fonts, it just becomes illegible to me.
It's hard to read. Yeah.
and remember, now we do not know her audience.
No.
So it's possible that this is what would resonate with her audience. But
Yeah.
just as any human being, we have trouble reading small things. We have trouble reading light text on lighter backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
I can barely read
There's
it.
no reason to just not make this all black. It would have worked.
Yeah,
But
because once you go black, no, never mind.
yeah, okay.
With the text.
Sorry.
Yes.
With respect to text. Yes.
And so I do want to say a quick thing about lists because we have to get off Allison and move on to something else. But the order of a list, first of all, they shouldn't be like left to right like this. It should be up and down. It's just easier. The person's eye has to travel so much less if it's in an up down list instead of a left to right list.
Mhm.
And then the order for a list is usually you prioritize based on some criteria. Like it's the thing that people are most likely to resonate with. If you're listing like a list of clients, go from the most well-known to the least well-known for whatever that demographic or audience is, right? So I mean, if you've done client work for Uber, Pizza Hut, and John's Plumbing, there's a clear order in, one of those is not like the other, like they'd say on Sesame Street, right?
Would
So
that
the
be true
order
of
for any
banners?
list is 1, let's say it's a list of 5. 1,
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 2. In a list of 3, it's 1, 3, 2. In a list of 4, it's 1, 2. It's 1, 3, 4, 2. Basically, number 1, whatever number 1 is, the most famous, the biggest, the most impressive, whatever, is the first thing you list. The second one in the list is last. It's pushed right down to the bottom. And then everything else is just done in whatever order they're in the middle. Because
that's a
everyone
tendency.
skims.
Yeah.
And they'll come away with an impression, especially if it's a longer list, that like even your lowest listed item, they know about it and it's pretty impressive. They don't read, and the human eye won't even see what's in the middle of a list unless their brain catches something that it already recognizes. Oh, I know John's plumbing, right? But unless they know it, like they'll just they instantly forget it. They read number one, they'll come away with a recency effect. Basically, there's a halo effect for number one, a recency effect for the very last one in the list, which is why it should be your second most powerful. And then everything else is in the middle. If it's going to have an effect on somebody or impress them, their brain will find it for them. You don't have to worry about it.
Is this true also when you have the banner that goes across when they say, as seen on, and you put those icons in there, or is that not the case?
Well, yeah, then you're relying on social proof, right?
Got it. Okay. Got
Right.
it.
Now, granted, as seen on TV is not nearly as powerful as it was 20 years ago.
Mm.
Literally anybody can pay to get on TV. It's not that big a deal.
Right.
As seen on TikTok.
There you go. As seen on TikTok. Yeah, exactly. Okay. And then we need to get off her page. So let's just go down to the bottom here. So again, she breaks the number one rule of friction, which is like she's giving instructions for the work that they have to do.
Mm.
Just the phrase, imagine the complete journey. No, God, no. Like,
imagine the end.
They don't want to work, and it's never their fault, the situation they're in.
Don't make me travel.
No matter what, you never forget those two things.
Yeah, interesting.
So she should have something here. I don't have time to write it, I guess, but she should have something here that's like, basically, and her concept and idea is solid. Imagine the positive future. I will help you get there. That's all she really needs to say, not in those exact words, but that's what she should be saying. Instead, it's all like, do all this work. I provide tools. Imagine your complete journey before you even start. I mean, this is too much work.
Yeah, go from alpha to omega. Don't give me anything in between.
Yeah, because remember, you're never the only one that they're looking at. They're looking at least 4 other life coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And if one of them seems to say, you know what, I've done this so much for so many people or companies that you even recognize, that like this is the easiest way for you to get to where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
She's not conveying that message, and the person who's showing safety and showing, that they're a safe choice, it's not going to be like a waste of time or money to work with this coach, and that they know what they're doing. That's the one who's going to stand out, and then the other 4 that they looked at are just folded into one group and they're gone.
So easy sells, but can you use easy with transformation?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so let's get rid of all these.
Okay.
Let's do another search. Give me a search term. See
veterinarians.
Veterinarians.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be fun.
It should be fun.
Veterinarian Kernerville? No, that's
I don't know. Veterinarian dog and cat, something.
Yeah, pick somebody.
Or you want to do it locally?
Oh, let's just go down to page 10.
Pick something local to you.
Okay.
All right. And now, if any of these stand out to you, let me know. But
there's a veterinary hospital right there in Thomasville.
Yeah. Okay.
A clinic above New Haven or North Animal Clinic. Any of those?
Yeah, they're all lovely.
Okay, so let's look at these guys. Sure, why not? Right?
Sure.
Now, obviously, this is a bigger business than a single person solopreneur life coach, and they've got a better budget.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they're doing here is this is very much a level 1, who we are and how we do what we do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We're your compassionate veterans, our team of experienced professionals in Thomasville. Okay, is there a way for me to go back there? There's not. I can't stop or choose which part of the slider I'm looking at.
Yeah, you can choose the arrow. It'll just.
There's a little arrow in the middle for some reason.
There's one there.
Okay, yeah, let's try that one. Okay.
Yeah.
A very common mistake that businesses make in everything from websites to like sales meetings, everything else, is they keep repeating the business's name over and over and over, and they're not even conscious of it. It's not uncommon in like a sales pitch where someone's showing, like slides in a PowerPoint, to have the company's name, their own company's name on the slide 5, 6, one time I counted 9 times. If you count, the headline, if you count the footnote, like the little, logo on the bottom, it's people just keep repeating it over and over and they're unconscious of it. And audiences don't like it. It's aggravating to hear the same thing over and over.
Are they bothered by the logo?
On their website, they don't need to put their name in here. I already know where I am.
But the logo's okay on a slide though.
Well, yeah, sure. But it counts as one of your repetitions.
Got it. Okay.
And so you should have the logo, but it counts. So don't say the company name 4 more times on the same slide.
Yeah, you don't need it again.
So very common for businesses. They keep repeating their name over and over and over. And it's just bad form. Cut that out. And then let's see, what else have they got in the first one? See, like, here's the thing. They're talking about themselves and their program. You always want to be talking about, when I'm reading it, it should seem like I'm reading about myself, even though you're really talking about you. They didn't go for any sort of second right answer on this. They just, here's the thing that we sell.
Yeah.
Wouldn't do that. See, this is much better copy. See the difference? With blah, 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 and blah, 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 you can rest assured your pets will get
Yes.
Compared to the last one,
Big difference.
very different. This one should be a lot more like this one.
Yeah. They all should be a lot more
All
like
right,
that.
let's move off because we've been on their hero image for a long time.
Yeah.
See, now I can tell you this website where Allison's was not. This website was definitely written by a copywriter. Any copywriter can tell if a copywriter wrote the website. Everything stands out. There's like 40 things on this website that I can point out to show you that a copywriter wrote it. But this is exactly the same thing, right? They're talking about me and my pet while they talk about themselves. So it's all about me. It's all about my pet. It's all about what I'm going to get. So this is pretty well done, actually. And then they're sort of repeating their business name. They're sort of hiding the fact that they're repeating their business name. But I mean, I can let that go. And I would have used our here instead of their.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. They also, I wonder often, many
it's not
times.
there, it's the.
And then
Oh,
we offer an extensive range of services. There are so many better ways to phrase that.
Like how?
So that I understand that I'm getting that. Basically what they're saying is we offer an extensive range of services, comma, so whatever's wrong with your pet, we can probably handle it, and we're a first stop for you. But instead, they just say we offer an extensive range of services, including, and then it goes on and on and on and on. What they should have started with is for let's see if we can do this real fast. For all of your pet issues, this is generic language, this is first draft. For all of your pet issues, start with us. In fact, I would even start this paragraph with start here, period. If all they want to do is make that tiny change, start here, period. We offer an extensive range, then it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Start here is about me and what I'm trying to accomplish. And just those two words let me know, start here.
Start here.
Right. There's you guys ever have other Aldi stores in your area?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about Aldi all the time.
Aldi's, besides, we're cheaper. Aldi's main advertising message, although they don't technically advertise, they have little flyers and stuff in the store, but they don't put them in the newspaper as far as I know. But their thing is start at Aldi. We have 90% of everything you're going to buy. They literally say that. We have 90% of your typical grocery purchases at incredible prices. So they know that's a classic example of turning a weakness into a strength, right? They don't have 35,000 or 110,000 SKUs on their shelves, right? They have like 3,200 or something. And so you're not going to find everything you want every time at Aldi. You want a certain kind of spice, they don't have that. You want a different kind. You want Pepsi, they don't have Pepsi.
Yeah.
Anything by Pepsi. But
they
reframe it. You'll save a ton of money on the first 90% of your groceries. And the implication is for any sort of luxury or special item or brand that you love, you're going to save so much money at Aldi, you can go buy it guilt-free at some other store.
My wife's actually been to their headquarters in Batavia and did taste testings with them. It was hilarious.
And now this is another classic example. Our care is based on a prevention first philosophy. We will always work to prevent. It's all them, right?
Yeah.
And this whole sentence should have been rewritten around why our focus, or for you to have a pet that's not only treated today, but looked after in a way so that they'll be healthy down the road. That's what they should have said. But instead, it's
your
about
pet. Start with your pet, literally in the words. Your pet will be true.
They could have started that sentence like, a lot of times you can just leave these informational sentences in as long as you have an inspirational one in there first.
Right.
So Let's see, what would we say for prevention?
Stop bad stuff from happening in the future.
Yeah.
Reduce the pain
No,
in your
you're
pet's brain.
something along the lines of, your our relationship, your relationship with your pet should last as long as possible. And that's kind of like there's a bit of a darkness,
Lasts a lifetime, but we don't know how long your
right?
pet's going
As
to be
long
alive.
as possible. So our care is based on prevention first
Yeah.
philosophy.
The longer for a healthy
Yeah.
lifespan,
For a
for a good
long,
health
healthy
span,
life.
healthy life.
Yeah. And then you can put in our care is based on blah blah blah, right? It's
Mhm.
just that they've stripped out all the personality and all the care and the context of what the person who's reading it is going to be feeling, because it is not a small decision to switch vets.
No.
Isn't
And
this
so you're
almost
looking
like
for assurance and comfort
yeah.
that they're not going to be like, they're not going to overcharge you for everything that you could get somewhere else at some big chain. They're not a part of a big chain, it looks like. And then, they should take whatever weakness they have around being probably a one location
Mhm.
kind of place. Yeah, there's just
You make
one
it a
location.
strength like they're independent.
Yeah,
Of the big
independent, and they're.
personalized.
I would even say if any of their people had ever worked, even if it's just receptionists and stuff or caretakers, if any of them had ever worked for a big chain like Thrive or what's the one?
Banfield.
Banfield. That's what I'm thinking
Yeah.
of. Our staff, including many
Who've
who've
previously
worked at
worked. Yeah.
national chains, are now basically the messaging, not the actual wording, are now here at what's this place called? Thomasville Veterinary Hospital
Yeah.
to
Thomasville, yeah.
provide the level of care
Mhm.
that large chains simply don't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Simply can't deliver.
Simply can't or simply don't.
Simply don't. Yeah.
I think if you say simply don't, you're probably got a little more liability shield than can't.
Mhm.
Simply can't.
Right.
So it almost seems like some of these small businesses, the independent clinics and pet hospitals, just like and human facilities too, they seem to try to cloak themselves in sort of a corporate language to pretend to be a big
Yeah.
company.
I mean, it's not.
And-
It's a long-standing strategy for a small business to try to look
Yeah.
bigger and a big business to try to look smaller.
Yeah.
But again, that's a first right answer, not a second right answer.
Yep.
Yeah.
The second right answer is look at your weaknesses as
Yeah.
your prospect or customer might perceive them and turn them into strengths that a customer would care about.
Right.
All
Like
right.
somebody
we wanna
might feel
try-
that-
Oh, we're almost out of time, actually. So
Oh. Well, somebody might feel that a chain is a great idea because they travel a lot and they can go to any Banfield hospital or they can,
Right.
So, but then the personalized care and tailor-made to you, the individualization, I think, is the thing that they have to.
Right.
Out the
And then
window.
again, I'm not a graphics guy. I'm not a photo guy, but I would like to point out one thing here. Tell me, stop me when you see a pet that looks happy. Do any of these pets
They all look terrified.
happy?
They
Not
look
particularly.
terrified.
They're scared to death.
Right? At best, they
No.
look neutral.
Actually, that dog up in the middle looks
I
relatively.
think the frisbee guy.
No, he
He's
looks
crazy.
neutral. He's not happy.
That one right there in the
He
middle.
looks
There.
hot.
Hide
The
behind.
middle one.
He looks
The middle
like,
one looks nice.
yeah, he looks
He
like
looks
he needs
happy.
he needs a bowl of water stat.
He's trying to
Yeah,
smile.
he
And the
looks
thing is,
happy
he's at a
for-
daycare and spa. He should look awesome and look
Yeah,
like he's
that's
having the
right.
best
Yeah.
time of his life. But
That's
none
Well,
right.
you
of
would
these
think that with
pets,
the dental care, there'd be a pet with a really killer smile. So
the humans are smiling, or trying to, but the pets are like, get me the F out of here.
but that's what they're
Mhm.
feeling when they go to any
I
sort
know
of a vet.
that, but that's
this
not
one
what
looks
I
like it's
want
just
them
sort
to
of
feel
content.
as a potential customer.
The cat
Uh-huh.
in the middle looked completely content.
The two little doggies together. look
Yes, but here's the thing.
kind of content.
The cat and the dogs, by
And
the
eyes
way,
are closed.
these dogs are clearly not
And
anywhere
the
near
vet's
a
off.
Oh, yeah,
vet.
they're not near there. They're
I
free.
know.
And there's no human vet in this one
Well,
either.
look
And I
at
mean,
the- look at
what
the
are we
smile in
doing
the
here with
X-ray.
X-rays?
You can see the X-rays
on.
smiling.
All the humans are so
human
happy,
smile.
and all of the animals are like, "Oh my god, this place is like a camp where people never
Get
come
me
out
out
of."
of here. I
So
feel
maybe
like I'm
take
in
a
a
look at the
kitty
photographs.
concentration camp.
They needed my cat.
And-
He pranced around like he owned the place.
Basically, you want a positive future. You want to convey a positive future, and in this case,
Right.
you're conveying a positive future for the pet. None of these pets are in a positive future right now. None of them.
Yeah.
At least not if they're at that vet.
But there is a sparkle in that cat's eye. I can
Yeah.
see it.
Just a tiny one.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like professionally done photograph, you can even see that it's got a little sparkle in its eye right
Little
there.
sparkle.
Little
Yeah.
bit.
There
This
you
is-
go.
These are, like I said, this is professionally written and professionally
Yeah.
created.
Little
But I
sparkly.
mean,
Everybody seems to use
this lady's
orange.
eyes are basically closed, so we're not going to get anything. But the dog has sparkles in his eyes,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right, or her eyes.
Happy
Yeah.
dog.
But
That's
I
the-
mean,
that's the
yeah,
last
and
breath
this,
of life
they
leaves
get,
them.
they get past it by having the reflection. But even through the
Yeah.
glass, you can see she's got a little sparkle in her eye.
Yeah. Like a
So
sparkle
professionally
pony.
done photographs. But I
Yeah.
mean, come on, people.
Professional pet photography. That
I would
be
say the more I loved my pet, the less comfortable I would be on this website.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Or to put it
Interesting.
another way, I, Dean, am more likely to hire Thomasville veterinarians for my wife's dog than my wife is for my wife's dog,
Based on the copywriting?
based on the copywriting and the pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at this and saying, you know what? They're kind of corporate-y. They might not be too expensive. And my wife is like, my baby.
Right.
What are they going to do?
You want doggy daycare?
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. This
So,
is good.
fun
This is very
stuff.
insightful. Very helpful.
We should do another one on we'll do another one next
Funeral
Wednesday.
homes. That's the one I want done.
Funeral homes.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
kinda tempted to
Eventually,
get
yeah.
back that, dude.
Well, I have 2 friends who are funeral directors. That would be fun. But we're running out of time now, or
Well, let's do one real quick.
take a quick funeral?
Funeral
take a quick
home,
Trip
page
down
10,
death's door.
Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, West Virginia. I actually
There
know
you
where
go.
Martinsburg is. I have to drive through it like several
Could
times
be a
year.
pine box, but
Beautiful.
it's okay.
Right? You guys have a particular one you want to Robeson?
Not really. Oh, I would love
Yeah.
actually if in Buffalo, New York, the Loomis Funeral Home, because I know these people.
Oh, we don't want to do stuff that we know them, do we?
Oh, that's too bad. Well, eventually I would love to, but maybe offline because I would.
Maybe offline.
They're
Maybe
super
not.
nice people, and I wouldn't want to embarrass
All right,
them.
so let's pick this one in Kentucky. It's halfway down the 10th page.
There you go. Wow, since the 1860s,
Wow,
Civil
they've been
War.
around well.
Just Civil War pets. No, these we're not pets. We're on people now. Okay,
Civil War photos.
made the
too, though.
transition.
This is a bunch of dead people.
Yeah, these are the obituaries. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it bothers me when they feature the obituaries at the very top.
Yeah.
But it's not a lot of these people do this. Middle door.
Right. And then classic mistake, what they do and how they do it
Yeah.
instead of why I care about them.
Why choose us?
I also don't care that it's their new website.
Yeah, that I don't understand that announcement. You know,
Right.
like, hey,
This
look
is
at us.
not written by. So there's
No.
basically website copy is written by 3 types of people. It's
Mhm.
written by the owners.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's written by
the nephew of the owner.
a person who works at the website design company, but is
Oh, yeah.
not an actual full-time copywriter who like can make a living at copywriting.
Mhm.
And then there's written by copywriters, where basically there's like the graphics people, and
Mhm.
then there's a copywriter who's brought in to like
Mhm.
fill in whatever. This one is likely written. My guess is this one is written by the website company. So
Yeah,
they
'cause they're
have a
announcing the
template,
website.
they laid it out, and then they
Yeah.
write and say, "What do you want to say on your website?" And so,
Yeah.
because they have no idea what should be said on the website,
Right.
or how to say it. So they just ask the owner, and the owner says, "Well, let's make sure we tell them that we've been around for 150 years, and
Right.
and I'm the guy who owns the website company, so I want to point out it's a new website.
It's a new website
new
because they're going
website
to
here,
scroll down. They're going to
this
scroll down
only
to the
exists,
bottom.
by the
Yeah.
way, for the people, the client. The
Yeah.
only reason to say new website is so that the client gets to say, "Hey, look, I got a new website." No
Yeah.
one reading this cares that you've got a new website. You might as well say, we've got like new smocks in the morgue. Like, who cares?
We have new formaldehyde.
Yeah,
You'll
we
love it.
finally got rid of the 10-year supply of the stuff we had
The
before.
stuff, the old stuff. We've got
Man, look
discount
at all
coffins.
this.
I like grief support though. I mean, if you rearrange the whole thing, well, yeah, complete redo is what it's going to take. But any place that announces an additional service like grief support or ongoing
Right.
support or stuff, that's a good feature
Yes.
because it's about the it's about the people who have lost their loved one. It's not going on and on about the quality of your coffins.
No. I mean, if they were going to do anything with this paragraph, just very simply, they should invert the order so that this comes first.
Mm.
Get rid of by the way, there should not be ever an exclamation mark on a funeral home website.
Yeah.
No.
Unless you really want an
Hard no.
exciting departure.
The whole point of this is that, it's sedate, It's
Soothing,
comforting. We're not
calming.
too intrusive because we understand you're grieving.
Right.
No exclamation marks. None. Ever. No. Hard pass.
Except for my funeral. I
But
do
if it
want lots
didn't
of
have an
exclamation.
exclamation mark, right, we'll
Yeah.
take the first step with you. We understand that making
Period.
the many
Mhm.
decisions, okay, this is like bad writing. The many decisions, blah, blah, which come at a time of loss can be difficult. That whole sentence needs to be rewritten, but this
Yeah.
sentence should come first. Because again, I'm interested in me, and then I'm only interested in you insofar as you're telling me about me.
We can even say we'll guide you in your decisions. Something like simple.
Mm-hmm.
Send flowers.
Yep.
Funeral Directors of Kentucky. So everybody puts their certifications.
And I would
as-
have inverted this one too. Like,
Yeah.
and I would say, like, I would not say surviving. You don't normally survive the death of a loved one.
No.
You survive cancer. You're a cancer survivor. You're not a dead relative survivor, right? Or a friend. But you could say, coping and eventually healing.
Yeah.
Starts with
Coping and
learning about
healing.
grief.
Yeah.
Or
So
navigate.
we can help
or-
you. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We can help you cope and heal.
And
Mm-hmm.
I like more active, always the ing thing. I mean, sometimes just making it an active verb helps a lot.
yes,
Because there's an immediacy to it.
yes. So there you go.
Hmm.
Get rid of the exclamation marks.
There's
You're
a
talking
plenty
about them, and only through talking about them do you get to talk about you. Nobody cares that it's a new website.
Right.
I would definitely, they made the right move, of course, playing up the 150 years.
Mhm.
Although I don't know if you know this, but for the last 30 years, there's been quite a lot of consolidation
Oh yeah.
in the funeral home business.
Most
So
definitely.
even though it's still nothing on the exterior of that building has changed, there's a very high likelihood it's owned by a massive corporate chain.
I know it very well. My
Yeah.
funeral director friends have said that over, and they're trying desperately to compete against those chains. So they're looking for any advantage, even if they can get
Yeah.
10% discount on the coffins that they offer to the
Right.
grieving families. It makes a big difference for them.
Yeah.
And then I don't know why they would phrase it, we are able to offer a wide range instead of we offer a wide range. This is very much like
Yeah.
you're introducing selling from your heels,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
right? You don't sell from your heels. Like, you don't want to be aggressive pretty much ever in any copywriting language, but you do want to be assertive, which is sort of like a step back from aggressive on the scale. Assertive just means this is a fact, and because it's true, I'm willing to stand on it.
Well, it's like somebody who would say, I'm trying to get better at being kind.
Right. See, they did it okay here. I mean, it's straight up. It's a straight verb, right? We serve every family. But then it's we are able to. That's bad.
We
We will
serve.
take the time instead of we take the time,
We take, yeah,
right?
yeah. You
And
don't
then
need to
our
do future
website
pacing.
contains information about what is the sentence even here for?
So isn't it about future pacing versus immediacy? That's what I'm getting. Like sometime in the future, I may provide you with service versus I give you this now.
Yeah. My guess is most people don't look at any funeral home website ever unless they
Mhm.
have an immediate need.
True.
And so like this should have been split. See how it goes into plan ahead, grief support, send flowers,
Mhm.
right? It should have been split into, and there's nothing about them until you get past the obituaries.
Mm,
You should, this should have been above
I agree.
the gallery.
Yep.
And it should have been, first of all, get rid of new website, get rid of all
Mhm.
exclamation marks.
Mm.
And why do you come? Think about the context, right? Either someone
Yeah.
is looking for a funeral home because
Yeah.
they need it for a family member, or they've been told this is such funeral home, and you can find
Isn't
out
it-
where to come at what time to pay your respects.
Yeah, we buried these dead people back in the 1800s. It's like but the other thing is the photo is coming forward and it's covering up the. You can't see the text actually.
Yes, and also I don't know if you noticed this, but meet our staff. There's literally only one person.
All of him.
So if there's only one of you,
Yeah, don't do it.
then there's nothing wrong with putting that one person sort of on the
About-
bottom of the page,
About
Yeah.
me.
right? That's it. But this is all
Yeah.
weird. It's like
It's a
obviously
template.
more than one person works here.
It's definitely a template. No, there's somebody is assisting in the embalming and all the other things like that. And they bring in makeup people to do
All
makeup
of
and
that stuff.
hair. You know.
Right. And so what they do here is they sort of like walk it through the generations.
Mhm.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But there's no reason why this shouldn't be automatically changing
Yeah, it should
instead of me. I
automatically
mean,
go.
do you really want me to cycle through all 5
Yeah,
of these?
nobody's going to do that. Nobody even knows to look for those
No.
dots.
Right. So not great. But again, I don't know their audience, but there are lots of changes, small changes that should be made. If I was only allowed to do one, I would just say no exclamation marks on a
Right.
funeral home page. Like, no, there's nothing you do that you need to be shouting about.
Right.
No one reading this or experiencing this or is a likely customer wants you to be shouting about anything
Sure.
ever.
Because otherwise you'll wake the dead.
Okay, now you're just getting weird.
Sorry. I see.
All right, so let's shut this down.
Shut it down. Weird is my specialty. So
There.
very interesting.
Hmm.
I'm quite fascinated with just that the live component. It's like watching you on a tightrope without a net.
Yeah, I know. There's no net here. It's all live.
No net.
We really should just pre-record these so I can take out any embarrassing moments.
It could be pre-recorded and then streamed. It really could be streamed through. It should be able to be streamed through this.
Actually, you can't if you're streaming live to LinkedIn. It's in their terms of service.
Oh,
You cannot do-
interesting.
You can put in like a little 30-second or like 2-minute clip if it's part
Wow.
of the presentation. Like look at this video and then I'm going to talk about the video kind of thing, right? But
Yeah.
no, you can't like pre-record.
Interesting. Well, you could just,
And we do like to stay on LinkedIn's good side.
Yeah, that's true. LinkedIn, we love you.
Yeah, I don't know, go that far, but still, yeah. So
I tell
think
Zook I
next
love him
Wednesday,
all
you
the
guys come with some topics, and if anyone has I didn't even check to see if there, if there's anything in the chat next time. But if
No,
there
I was
anyone,
in
ends up
full
a chat,
screen.
they want to make it. Or here's the thing: if anyone wants us or me to look at live their website,
Oh boy.
then
I'm ready to
I'll
volunteer.
send you a link. You can come online and I'll walk through your website for you. Again, I don't do a lot of websites. It's not that obviously I can. It's that generally it does not.
I'm willing
It's
to
the
let
bottom
you
of the pyramid stuff. Literally everybody in copywriting kind of
Yeah.
starts off with there's you say you want a copywriter for your website, you're going to get 4,000 people.
Yeah.
Going up. I don't bother, but for occasionally I will I'm doing one now for that sort of think tank up in Canada.
Yeah.
Right. I'm rewriting multiple pages of their website because it's just bad.
Yeah.
And
I'm willing to let you eviscerate me live sometime. That's fine.
On your own website?
Yeah.
Yeah. We should eviscerate mine. Like anyone else, right? It's the cobbler's children that don't have shoes.
Of course.
That was true. It's so true. So true. Yeah.
And there's literally nobody that I've ever talked to who liked their own website. Nobody.
Yeah.
No.
They all start with an apology. So, we haven't worked on this in a while, or it's not quite finished, or I wish it was different. Here's the address. Everyone prepends their statement with, this sucks in some way, but here, go look at it. So
it's somebody's saying hi, John Paduchak from Facebook. So
I bet.
you know who they are.
All right. So this one went a bit long. I guess we can expect that since we're doing live breakdowns and stuff.
Yeah.
But hopefully the life coach, if she ever sees this, can make these small changes, and she's free to steal anything that I said. I tell everyone and every client, you can steal every idea that you ever get from me. I have a never-ending supply
of ideas.
Go for it.
Have at it.
It's not like I can keep them somewhere. Just go.
In a mason jar in front of his house.
And if I ever figure out how to, I just haven't tested it, but if I ever figure out how to show the shortcut process and on my phone or iPad or something, how I do all that capture of the ideas and thoughts and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I have them all in that log date stamp that I showed you guys yesterday in the after show.
Yeah.
Then I should do that because it's so great.
We've done screen shares
stuff.
We've done screen shares for short form video, but we're doing it in Zoom, not in Restream. So,
yeah. So there's going to be some way for me to figure out how to do that, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I think that's it for today. So Wednesday will be live copywriting days, and we'll see how it goes.
I'm definitely going to be coming back on Wednesdays.
All right. That's it for me. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, lady in Houston. Goodbye, funeral home. Goodbye,
West Virginia.
Thomasville. By the way, Thomasville is pretty close to where I live. So and that's where Thomasville furniture comes from, by the way.
I was about to ask you about that, whether it was Thomasville furniture.
Yeah, it's in the High Point, North Carolina area. It's maybe a 15-minute drive from my house.
I got some furniture from there.
They were on page 10, and we were still just in vets in my area. So
Yeah.
They have